So, I and my husband were just speaking about souls on our last day in Goa right now. We were speaking to each other and we were trying to make our son understand, because he's now 11 years old. So, we wanted him to understand a little bit of how the soul takes the shape of a human body in a rebirth, and then depending on their karma in that particular birth, they take subsequent rebirths or they attain moksha. So my husband is also into spirituality. I have been into yoga and spirituality for many years now. He has been into yoga and spirituality for 1.5 years only, but we have a lot to discuss because my growth has been a little less steeper than him. His growth, spiritual growth, has been very steep in the last 1.5 years. And so most of the topics that we discuss, we are very easily able to relate to each other. And so we were discussing, and our kids were playing around us. We were just picnicking here in our resort a little bit just before we take our flight tomorrow. And we tried to explain to our son, because he watches Harry Potter, and he knows how Voldemort had died and his soul had broken into several parts, and the soul were in Horcruxes, and then Harry had to kill all of them, the 7 of them, to kill Voldemort. So what are souls? What are human bodies? Obviously kids think about these things, right? So we decided to talk to him about it tonight. And so I lost my Dadaji 6-7 months ago, right? And my kids know that, because they are grown up enough now to know that someone in the family is missing, and they were close to Bade Nanu. My Dadaji is their Bade Nanu, right? So they were close to him and they miss him, and they know that his presence is missing from our family, and they keep talking about him. So they wanted to know where he is, what form he must have taken. And so I've been very emotional today. I've been trying to explain to my kids, and my husband has been trying to explain to my elder one, that the soul neither is born nor it dies. The soul is eternal, right? The soul is forever. We are all souls, and soul is basically individual consciousness rising out of the collective universal consciousness, which is God himself, God, Source, Almighty, Vishnu ji, Shiv, whatever God you believe in, okay? The Krishna consciousness, right? So consciousness, God, which is the universal consciousness from which we have all come into being. Where have we all come from, right? We are in a vast, eternal, infinite space. It's infinite, right? The space has no end. Beyond solar system, beyond Milky Way, there are billions of galaxies. The world, the universe is endless, right? The space is endless. It's a dark space. And what are we doing here hanging in the middle of nowhere on a planet called Earth? in a city called India, in a country called India. What are we doing here? So it has all come from somewhere, right? There's obviously a higher power, which you may call God or source or consciousness or Almighty, Allah, Bhagwan, Jesus, whatever you want to call it, right? Now that is the collective consciousness, and we are individual consciousness, and that is what is soul. So when a soul or individual consciousness takes the form of a human being, that's when we are born, and that's when we get a life, and we need to understand that. And we take shape of this body, but we are not this body. We take this shape of this human vessel just to have the human experience, and when we die, the body dies, but the soul remains, and it takes shape of probably another human, another animal, a plant, water, non-living things, star, anything. We can be anything. A consciousness can take a rebirth in any form. What it takes with itself when it dies is not the money, not the materialistic possessions, not the status and fame that we acquire, but we only take the karmas that we have performed during our lifetime and our previous lifetime. So our balance sheet of karmas continues from many lifetimes and continues within the present lifetime. Okay, and so these are the things we were trying to share with our son, not so much in detail. I'm sharing with all of you so much in detail. For him, we made it a little bit easy to understand for an 11-year-old and easy to incorporate. So what we basically wanted him to understand is that it's all about the balance sheet. It's all about the karmas that you perform, whether you have helped a needy person, whether you have done good deeds, whether you have been honest and truthful, or have you been deceitful to yourself and to others. All of these things are karmas, and what goes with you when the human body dies and the soul carries on and moves on to another body, or just becomes a part of the universal consciousness again, right? So that's also something what I wanted to discuss or share with all of you, that these are some of the things we have been talking about tonight. Guys, have purity in your karma. Doing bad deeds will take you far for some time in the short term, or maybe it will make your current life very successful, but in the long run, and it's a very long lifetime, trust me, millions of births, I don't even know, hundreds of births. 7 janam sirf nahi hote hain, guys. There can be many more janams you might have to take to settle your balance sheet. So make sure that in the profit and loss, in the assets and liabilities, the liabilities are not too many, because to settle those bad deeds that you have done, the bad karma that you have done, it might take you 10 lifetimes or more, or many more, right? So do good karma, help people, be honest, do not betray anyone, do not hurt anyone. No matter how much somebody does bad to you, you be good, because that's their balance sheet. You have to look after your balance sheet, right? You can't take revenge, you can't do bad things just because other people are doing bad things, because वो आपकी बैलेंस शीट को हिला देगी बिल्कुल. आपकी बैलेंस शीट आपके हाथ में है. You have to do good things to make sure that your balance sheet is strong, your karma is strong. And when it is strong, you will get a rebirth in a better form. Human form is said to be the highest form of consciousness, right? You could be born as an insect, as an ant, as a tree, as a tiger, anything. But if you're born as a human, that means that you've done some good karma in the past. And during this lifetime, if you do bad karma, you are just disturbing your balance sheet like anything. So continue to do that good karma so that your balance sheet becomes even stronger when you leave this world, when you leave this body and you become a soul again, and you have to take another birth, or maybe you are good enough to attain moksha. Moksha is basically liberation, or moksha is when you do not have to take another rebirth to settle your balance sheet. That's when you are completely liberated. You have settled all your karma. That's when moksha comes. Okay, so if maybe this is the birth in which you can settle all your karma so that you attain that moksha and you do not have to take another birth. So just continue to do the good karma that got you here into the human form, that today you are a human and you're not some other lower form of consciousness. And be good.